give it some more pressure. Get that going. Gauge is looking good. Buongiorno everyone, Clams Mahoney here, your source for SoCal fun and excitement. And in today's exploration, we're at the Choo-choo. That's right, we're on a train right now. We're in Los Angeles at the Travel Town Railroad and Museum. We're gonna learn all about these big beasts today. So you make sure you don't wanna miss your train because I'm gonna try and get us there on time. So hop on board and we'll see what we can find. So in addition to checking out the main engine, we can also go inside and see what a passenger car would look like. I'm assuming we're going into first class, so it's going to be quite glamorous, and well, there's not really nothing in here. So since this train has no seats, I'm pretending to sit. But this reminds me of a story. I was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, deep into Amish country, right? And I was with my family, and we were riding a real working steam train. And there was a plaque on the side that says, "Be sure to watch out for Indian attacks." And it was a real plaque too, it was a real working train. And I thought that was so funny because I was like, I thought it was a joke that, you know, halfway during the ride some fake Indians were going to come and pretend to attack us and we were going to fight them off or something like that, or just drive away. But no, it was actually serious. Next time you guys ride a train, be sure to watch out for Indian attacks, alright? So one of my favorite movies growing up was Five-O Goes West. And to get out west, Five-O and his family and all of the mice hopped in a little boxcar that was on the underside of a train. So do you think that one of these trains has a little boxcar for mice on it? For them to go out west and follow their dreams? Way out west, way out west, way out west. Where's that train? I mean, they have this nice little gazebo on display here that you can sit in while I wait for my train to arrive, but my train sure is taking a long time. Hey, you're not my train. You're a Hessler logging train. You were used to bring lumber from the forest to the mills for processing. Locomotive. In the western United States between 1900 and 1930, logging was a very important industry. At that time, trucks were not strong enough or rugged enough to haul timber from logging areas to mills where the log was processed. Many timber companies built temporary rail lines to the areas where trees were cut in order to haul the timber out. Since they are usually not permanent, the rails were poorly laid and rough, with many sharp curves. The standard locomotives of the time found it very difficult to move on these uneven tracks, and they often derailed. This problem resulted in an invention of geared locomotives, in which steam locomotives that have gears to bring power from the pistons to the wheels. Just as it had subways long ago, Los Angeles of the past boasted cable cars, and they ran them till, I would say, about the 1800s, but they had problems because the city kept sprawling outwards and cable cars required a lot of electricity to run, so it didn't really work out, unlike San Francisco where they are famous for their cable cars. So let's check this out. Inside they have a bunch of train cars and other cars that we can explore. Until the 1920s, animals were an integral part of many people's daily lives. Horses and mules were needed to pull wagons and buggies, plows, thrashers, travel long distances, and move extremely heavy objects. And the railroad met that demand and didn't just replace horsepower, they also supplied a way to move animals quickly and over long distances. Here they have a boxcar that was used to transport animals. So this card demonstrates the Los Angeles Gas and Electric Company. I'm sure this was used in, say, like the 1800s or something like that. And while I don't think they actually carried these gas thermometers or whatever you would call them around, I do imagine the guy like sitting up on the front. Gas here, get your gas. I've got fresh gas, old gas, new gas. You want the gas? This is where you come. I got it for you. Southern Pacific Boxcar. In the 1870s and the 1880s, when the narrow gauge railroads had their flash of popularity, the specialty sized locomotives were manufactured by the same company which were building standard gauge engines. During the negotiations for the initial right-of-way at the Carson and Colorado Railroad, a stretch of line was to cross the Schultz Indian Reservation. And in agreement, the railroad supplied transportation to the Schultz residents for free, just like Travel Town is free. Like many of the benefits awarded the members of the reservation, this complimentary transportation was furnished not within the comforts of the train's chair car, but rather atop the coach or boxcar roof. So basically the gist of this story is that the Carter Company who made these things were nice enough to give free rides to the Indians on the reservation that their rail car went through, but they were like, well, you can't ride inside the car, but you know what? We'll furnish the top for you so you can ride in luxury up on the top. So if I know anything about trains and boxcars, which is admittedly next to nothing, I've learned that there's always a transient or a hobo riding the rails trying to get away. And I bet he's still in there, so... Mr. Transient, you still in there?
Go away! I'm riding the rails. I'm going to San Francisco. I'm gonna escape Los Angeles.
Alright. Let me know when you get there.
I'll send you a letter on Pony Express.
Now, the thing about this handcart is, when you pan up, you see that it's literally right in front of a train. So it's just like in the movies when they're like huffing and puffing as fast as they can to get away from that train. The LAFD closed out the 19th century with two of the city's worst industrial fires up to that time. In the mid-afternoon, December 7, 1898, Art Stevens was filling a petroleum delivery wagon with benzene inside the Standard Oil refinery, warehouse, tank, farm, and stables. While accounts of the fire's cause differ, Moore's official report says somebody throwing away a cigar stump ignited vapors around a wagon and a benzene tank. By now, the wide open valve on the benzene tank was spouting fuel into an ever-widening pool of flames. Standard Oil manager E.S. Sullivan saw the fire and immediately closed the fireproof metal doors to the large brick warehouse. Yeah, he was like, you guys aren't getting in here. No, sir. Fire! This pre-20th century wooden car was put to a variety of uses by its owner. Caboose, baggage car, railway post car, and most notably, baggage mail combination. Both local and long-distance trains, including a car equipped with pigeonholes, sorting bags and tables, cancellation stamps, and one or more frenzied clerks trying to sort a bag of mail picked up at one station before arriving at the next station. Do you think the mail service in this train car was as slow as it is at the post office? You know what? I bet it was actually pretty faster. The lady was like, I need to deliver a mail. And the guy was like, oh, sorry, we're leaving. Clerks carried guns for protections against outlaws wanting to steal their mail. You know when you hear the saying that a postal worker is going to go crazy and go postal and shoot each other? Geez, no wonder they would go postal. They used to actually carry guns. So this is the inside of a train car and what it would look like when it was transporting goods. I'm always curious when I see a trunk like this. So I'm going to check it. Anything? Okay, good. I'll be honest, whenever I see a trunk like that, I'm always expecting to look inside and see there being like some crumpled up dead body inside or something. Or like a handle just be sitting on the outside, like some scorned lover just dumped it in there. I've watched too many movies. So when the kids want to come and play conductor or train, they have this place called Holden's Corner inside. And it's got a little train engine they can play on, and a little ticket booth so they can go and buy their tickets and feel like they're actually riding a train. Look how the banners just have clouds and skies. Like, they can't just walk 5 feet outside and get that. No, they have to come inside and get a simulated experience. So one of the coolest parts of the Travel Town Railroad and Museum is in the back. I guess you would call this a train graveyard or a display yard. And they have all these old steam locomotives in their cabooses, and you can learn about them. So it's really interesting. Let's learn about a few. So here's an old caboose, and I learned that what they would do is they would go up into the top of the caboose and they would watch for dangers upcoming ahead of them, so that way they could warn the engineer. Union Pacific sleeping car Rolls Bowl. On the night of August 12, 1939, the Streamliner train City of San Francisco was approaching a bridge in Nevada at nearly 90 miles an hour. When it derailed, plunging 5 passenger cars into the river below the bridge and 3 more down an embankment. 5 cars stayed on their wheels, including an all-roomette sleeping car named the Telegraph Hill. On the night of 1924, on that night, 24 people died and 121 were injured. This car, renamed Rose Bowl after repairs, then placed on the City of Los Angeles train, is the original Telegraph Hill, a survivor of what stands as one of the most famous unsolved train accidents. Although found to be sabotaged in a railroad hearing. No saboteurs were identified and track conditions have always been questioned. So this is the infamous Telegraph Hill train car that stayed on while the others plunged off the tracks. Man, that would be so scary. Especially to wake up and realize that the train is like a few cars lighter. So here at the Travel Town Trains and Railroad Museum, they have lots of train tracks, as you would imagine since it's a train museum. But I feel like they're missing a great opportunity here with these train tracks. Where's the damsel in distress tied up, and there's the guy with the top hat and the twirling mustache just sneering over her? You get a picture with it. A woman tied to the train tracks? It's classic. It'd be a great photo op for the family. Would make even a great Christmas card picture. Guys gotta go on this travel town. Well, unfortunately, this train has reached the end of the tracks, and it's time for me to get back on and go to the train to tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed your time with me today, seeing all the choo-choo trains in the Los Angeles Travel Town and Railroad Museum. It was a lot of fun. Now, the Travel Town and Railroad Museum is absolutely free. There's no admission to come in here. So if you're looking for something fun to do while you're here in SoCal, and maybe you don't want to go to like Universal or Disney and pay those high prices, just come here. There's no rush. You can take your time and leisure. They're open from 10 to 4 on weekdays and 10 to 6 on weekends. But my tip to you guys is make sure you bring sunscreen. It's into summer now, and so it's getting pretty warm here in SoCal. And make sure you bring a bottle of water in with you. I accidentally left my bottle of water in the car, so I'm pretty parched right now. But while I get this train up and running, my question to you guys, and jump in the comments and let me know, what's your favorite type of train? Do you like a steam train, a coal train? Woo, baby! Do you like the more modern streamlined trains? Or do you like more like a fictitious train, like say the Hogwarts Express, even though I know that's a real train? You know, I would say my favorite type of train is this type of train, because it's like an old classic Western. Like I imagine it pulling into the station, steam billowing out the side, and just you hear the clink of someone's spurs, and a cowboy in a cowboy hat and a duster getting out, hops down, whips his duster back, and he's got his 6 shooters on his side, looks to the left, looks to the right. He knows he's about to go on an adventure, and then turns and starts walking slowly into town. That's my interpretation of what this train was used for. Tell me in the comments what you guys think, or what your favorite type of train is. Now remember, like, comment, subscribe, tell me where you want me to go next, and we'll see if I can go there. And until I see you guys next time for our next exploration, always remember, keep it kosher.